it's Jay. So I just got a UV flatbed printer in to set up in my personal workshop. So you might be a little nostalgic if you followed me for some time. I have quite a bit of videos in my workshop here. Not quite as professional as the professional shop, but that's okay. I get this set up here and we're going to have it just for you guys on YouTube. So I want to go ahead and show you the contents in this little printer and what this thing can do. So let's check it out. So this printer in its crate weighs about 200 pounds. 100 kilograms, I think is what they say. Let's open it up. But I'm told that it's about 50 kilograms, which is closer to 100 pounds all set up. So let's take a look at it. There it is. So the crate, if you notice here, has these little latches I had to undo. Just really quick, easy drop latches like this. Just unlatch those and it hinges right up. Pretty easy to open. There's a little printer. We got user manual stuff, and let's see. If this thing truly is about 100 pounds, I should be able to pick it up out of the crate. I have no idea. I've actually never seen this model in person, even though we do sell it at Jay's Printers, just because we work with the bigger ones. So I wanted to see what this small, affordable one was all about. Get this little thing out of here. Yep. Now sticking out of here now. Here I go, it's just me. I recommend 2 people to pull these out. But it's just me. Now what do I do? Now I'm out of shape from picking that up. You guys can see just how out of shape I am. That probably was about 100 pounds. So I'll pick it up by myself. 2 people should probably pick that up. I am apparently a big guy. That's what they tell me. I'm going to reuse this crate as a shelf because I don't have anything else here. I wasn't prepared for this. I'm going to set it up right next to my drill press. Alright, so just because I know I am familiar with the printers, whatever you're setting it on, we don't want to rock back and forth because this print head's going to move back and forth violently, so this needs to be level and sturdy. So I don't recommend, maybe my crate's sitting on something, but they do sell shelvings for these things. You can get them at jaceprinters.com. Shelvings that are made to hold your printers, specific printers. And then they won't do this. So I'm going to find something to wedge us up just so we can get printing. Let's check it out. This is going to be all over my YouTube channel now. So this is the ZZ1S. This is the most affordable UV printer that's of any quality that you will probably find. It prints, I want to say 32 and a half millimeter bed this way. That's like 13 inches. 55 millimeters from front, or 50 or 55 millimeters from front to back. 60 millimeters is about 2 feet, so I'm gonna call this like 22 inches maybe. So this probably was originally a direct-to-garment printer, which, by the way, you could just switch out your inks in here and you have yourself a direct-to-garment printer if you don't want UV. They put on this cool UV light, which is split, and it comes with the new, see the green cable? That means this has the new Hanzo Soft N10 motherboards, so that's good. I see, what do they have new on here? White stir, so this is your white ink, steering motor, and they got them all colorized for you. This must be, yeah, waste ink, it says. Alright, let's get this bad boy ready to be turned on. So there's a clip right here that when you take out, so I guess there's a screwdriver in here. It's going to come with your printer. Phillips head screw just to the left here of the head that connects it to the rail. This keeps this from moving in shipment, because these things have traveled more than I have. 30 days on a ship, cruise ship. Wouldn't that be nice? Shout out to Carnival Cruise. Okay, so this clip here we don't need. We could throw it away, or you can save it in case you ever decide you want to move your printer. I'll probably just throw it away because I think this will stay in here. If it's not in here, I might move it to our showroom in Stoutsville, Ohio. But this one is probably going to stay in my personal workshop so we can make some pretty cool stuff, videos with it. Alright, so it looks like some duct tape we need to remove. Man, it's sticky. Okay, so we got the supports on the table, so the table should be able to move in and out. Slow, not fast. If you go fast, these are stepping motors, they'll actually generate electricity. And you can short stuff out, believe it or not. This thing is pretty cute. Okay, moving in and out good. I do find this a little unusual. These rails are the same rails they're using for the x-axis. So we got X, just so you know real quick. This is X, Y is front and back, and Z would be up and down. So now let's check X. Okay, so I'm happy with how those are going. We got the bracket out, we're moving the head back and forth, we're moving the bed in and out. Everything seems good. Let's get this thing plugged in and see what it does. Let's turn it on. Make sure it's switched in the off position. Plug it in here behind my drill press. Okay, so things got power. I'm going to turn this on for the very first time since it reached the United States. Let's see how it is straight out of the, we'll see how it is straight out of the box from China, straight from the States. Alright, so turn it on. On. Didn't turn on. They also depressed the emergency switch, so let's turn that on, because when you first get it, this might be pushed in. Turn this, oh, there we go, we got power. Now this will go through a startup procedure. This will go through its startup procedure. It's turning on and initializing. Good. The bed moves back and forth. Normally goes all the way back. Yes, good. Stops. So now we got the head all the way to the left. Nice. Let's lock it. Let's bring the bed out. Nice. Nice. So up, okay, down. Cute. So I can tell you, if you press and hold the up button, this right here is your Z axis sensor. This right here will sense underneath this whole thing. There is a like in a garage door sensor, infrared sensor, and it'll make sure that you're not up too high. That's why you can see me going down, because it thinks I'm right there. So, okay, so for this next part, you'll want to consult your user manual, because we need to set up the network connection. And when I first started printing, that was surprisingly more difficult than I thought it was going to be. In fact, I had to actually call in tech support to hook this up for me, all for over a stupid network connection, because I don't know. I don't know. We've been printing for a long time now. But anyways, you want to consult your manual and get your numbers for the IP addresses and stuff to hook this up. I'm going to hook this up right now, because now I know how to do it. You'll find your network cable, which I think this is a Cat 7. Yeah. You'll find your network cable. This is not an ordinary Cat 5 cable. This is Cat 7. So don't just go and buy any cheap cable. Get a good one. But it came with one, so we're good. These little protectors off the end. It's probably the hardest part. Now we need to go set up our network, and I'm going to try to switch over to my screen viewer. I don't know why my microphone ain't working on that. I gotta get that fixed. But anyways, I'm going to switch over to my screen viewer, and you guys can check that out in a second. Alright, so in your bag, you should find a little thumb drive like this. This will hold your software. I recommend taking your software, everything on this contents of this USB drive. Don't trust this USB drive, and drag and drop it to your hard drive or on a higher quality USB drive, because I've diagnosed a lot of these printers. Sometimes these have issues. So let's keep your software safe. If not, you can message me or your technician, and we'll get you the software. We got this all hooked up and running. Now before I install inks, I want to go ahead and run print, make it think it's running a print, and I just want to see this thing go through its actions and stuff, because if there's any problems or something like that's going to have, I'd rather it happen before I put ink in it than have to wait on parts or whatever we got to do. But I sincerely doubt there's going to be any issues. Oh boy. Not all ink is created equal. If you got this label on there, you got good ink. So this is, I'll put a link to this in the description. It's good stuff. Let's fill this up. It's pretty easy. Alright, so we take the plastic wrapper off of our ink. Open it up. There'll either be a paper or a foil seal here. We need to cut this off. Go ahead and pop that out. I'm going to stick the scissors in there and cut this out. Now ink is It's a little corrosive, so if you have sensitive skin, I suggest you wearing gloves for this. If not, just get it all over your skin and cry later. Alright, so I got this open. I'm putting in yellow ink on the cap. It's going to go in the jug with the corresponding color. Pretty simple, really. So we're doing yellow. I'm going to take off the yellow cap. And then top off my yellow ink. So there's a setting that says first inking. Now listen, it's now sucking the ink. You'll hear it change. There it goes. Sounds good. You hear it? You can hear it changing in there, and the pump's starting to struggle. Once it starts struggling, you know there's ink in your print head. It's all doing this automatically. It's loading the ink, cleaning it, getting it ready to print for you. Ready to print. Now before we print anything, since this is brand new, let's run our very first nozzle check. Alright, so I'm out here in my workshop. I'm not in my print shop, so I don't have all these awesome things to print on, but this is a UV printer, guys. I'm going to do a nozzle check on a piece of floor tile. Let's see how it goes. Okay, to perform a nozzle check, there's a button in the software at the top that says nozzle, or there's a button right here that says nozzle. I find right here on the interface. Right here on the interface, it's just a button that says nozzle. Press this button, and it'll go to the left and do a print nozzle. Keep your hands clear. Okay, keep in mind I've not done any cleanings. All I've done was run the load ink software, and it looks like I'm out of room in my SD card. But it's still recording, so here's my first nozzle check. You see some colors mixed up in there. No big deal. We're just run a print a color flag right now, and it'll print all those colors out. Then we'll be ready to do some printing. Okay, so adding the ink. It now has ink. We're ready to load the ink into the print head, and then let's try to print something. Before we print something, we want to raise our table all the way up till it hits that sensor and comes down. It needs to be roughly 3 to 5 millimeters, preferably 3 millimeters away from the bottom of your print head, which is this thing right here. So we'll go up. I'm just going to print directly onto this board right here. Alright. Back to the computer. We're going to have so much fun with this thing, guys. Here's your color flag. Look how uneven this is. That's at least 2 millimeters. We printed off right here and right here. It's our color flag. Very first print from this machine. No issues in setting up. Alright, so that's the very first print we've got here. Looks great, in my opinion. For right out of the box. No issues, no real issues. Hooking this thing up and getting it ready to go. Fits through a standard doorway. This is, by the way, running the Hanzu Soft N10 boards, which is the newest boards in the XP600 print heads. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments. Go over to jaysprinters.com, check them out, and I will leave a link in the description to this printer so you guys can check it out right away. It is the most affordable machine that I think is of any quality. Again, I'm Jay. This is my to-do list. Thanks for stopping.